Hello and welcome to Earth, or KSP. This is, I'm abandoning the save file that I had. Just gonna put that out there right now. I have installed the Realism Overhaul mod, which is actually a whole bunch of mods, including PlanetSide, as you can see here. It does include Real Solar System as well, so if I zoom out, you will see that everything is right where it should be. You even have, that's it. All the planets are where they should be, so there's, in the real solar system, I should say. And Kerbal only has the moon. There is no other one. I forgot the name of. So I have all of these space centers I can choose from anywhere in the world. And I've decided to go for Cape Canaveral for now. The reason being it's probably the most famous, where the space shuttle and most of NASA's missions launch from. Now, I have upgraded the launch pad and mission control. I've not done any missions in this save game yet, in this career. We are still playing in career mode, don't worry. I have done one thing though. I'm going to load it in. Here we go, third career's a charm. I've built a rocket. Now, it doesn't look very good, does it? This is a AIESC-1 orbiter, a real cone chute up at the top there, and we have procedural refuel tanks here, as well as a decoupler and a heat shield, and we have down at the bottom the Rocketdyne LR105 series. You'll notice there's some different there are some different parts. Most of the game has been changed essentially. And this is going to be our first rocket. Hopefully it takes off, because I haven't tested it. This is 10 meters high. I can check here. It's 2 meters wide, 14.7 meters high in total, and it contains, if I go here, 19,500 litres of liquid oxygen and 12,000 litres of kerosene. Now, that means that this is an actual rocket that could actually fly, because there is one other thing this mod does. Well, two others. One is that it has Ferrum Aerospace Research, which makes aerodynamics somewhat realistic. And you notice I got this up. This is MechJeb doing this. It has Ferrum Aerodynamic Research, which makes things a bit more realistic. I'll just turn that off for the time being. It also has tweak scale. So I'm probably not going to get into orbit for quite a while. So let's just try and launch this thing. And we don't have enough power in the engine. We're going to have to leave the engine spooled up for a while apparently. And wait until the rocket is light enough to actually launch. I'm just going to leave my resources up because I want to keep an eye on that. I also want to keep an eye on the temperature of this. I want to keep an eye on the temperature of my actual rocket. And I'm beginning to wonder if it's a bug. I'm actually going to revert to vehicle assembly, because that's not supposed to happen. I'm going to reduce the tank length to 7 meters, which kind of bugs the game out a small bit. So I'll just fix that up there. Okay, so now we've got a slightly smaller rocket, and we'll launch this one, seeing as the other one didn't actually launch. So let's just see how well this one goes. I'm going to turn down the volume slightly on OBS. So here's the second attempt, and this one should launch. And it doesn't for some reason. Fuel flow is good, I believe. Okay. I'm going to revert to vehicle assembly again. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this rocket entirely. and swap it out for a procedure. Oh no, that will never be the right size. What's my burn time? Does not have a thrust curve at this time. Let's just see what this single SRB can do. You'll notice that I've intentionally made the rocket pointy. I've actually done that intentionally because it takes advantage of Ferrum Aerospace. Okay, here we go. Oh, it also has... I'll get to it when the time comes. There are a whole bunch of mods that I've installed. Remote tech is up here saying not applicable. There is no remote tech at the moment on this, but it will be important when we get to later missions. Once we get some satellites going, I will need to create a communications network. Now, I'm going to have to save up money to do that because, as far as I'm aware, no missions actually covered. I forgot to take out contracts. Revert to vehicle assembly. Exit that. I swear I took out contracts. I didn't take out contracts. So I need to take out these 3 contracts because I have the feeling I'll be able to do them. This one, because it doesn't expire, I can just take it out and wait, essentially. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm screwing up left, right and centre here, essentially, I could put a Communotron or any of these antennae on. I don't see the point of having an antenna. I'm just going to essentially launch this as is and just see how high we can get it. Now time will tell how good we get at the whole actually getting things into space thing, because Kerbal is quite a lot bigger. Also, it does look like Earth, as you saw from the map. I'm just going to turn on SAS. I don't think this thing has gimbal, but I better just be on the safe side. Now, I have absolutely no control over how fast or how slowly I go up. So you can see the ambient temperature is decreasing here because we're going up in the air. However, our outside temperature, well, our temperature of our pod is also decreasing for now. It's stabilized, and now we're getting up a bit faster than I would like. And you can see the air pressure here is actually increasing the temperature of the pod slowly. I don't want it to get too high, so I'm slightly nervous. The ambient temperature has stabilized at minus 56 degrees, and the pod temperature is still rising. What's the temperature on the very tip? 200. That is a problem. That is a problem. Okay, we are... Ooh, thank the Lord we got up out of the thickest part of the atmosphere now after losing all control. Primarily, we're just kind of launching in whatever way the SRB wants to take us, and that is not exactly a good thing. I'm going to have to wait until it's burnt out, because I don't think I've put enough power in the decoupler I have to actually get this thing safely down and safely detached while the SRB is firing. Can I alter the decoupler properties at the moment? No. So I'm just going to have to wait for the SRB to do that. And we've just set... we haven't escaped the atmosphere somehow. Now you can see it is quite beautiful, quite silent up in space, which we're apparently not in, despite being 100 kilometers up. Oh, we've just hit space. So yeah, the whole point of this mod, it's a mod pack more than anything else, but there are a couple of it can be used as a standalone mod, I believe. Now the whole point of it is just to make the entire Kerbal experience more realistic without breaking the spirit of the game. I mean, you could just put actual rockets in here, and it might be an idea, and I think that this dawn over here is quite beautiful. Now, you know, so we're 429,000 meters up, and that's barely a dimple on Kerbal. That's because Kerbal, if I can bring up the information. No, I want the information on Kerbal. Pale blue dot, 7 billion humans, it uses Earth's... it actually does use... It is Earth. It's been scaled up in-game by a factor of 10. Because Kerbal is exactly 10 times smaller than Earth. Now, gravity hasn't really been scaled, nor... Well, the atmosphere has, as you saw, it's been scaled up slightly. All the other planets are scaled up 10 times and made to look like the real thing. As far as I'm aware, I haven't actually been to any other planets, but that's what I presume. And you can see little lights emanating from the twilight. That is... I think Kerbal size. Well, there is a mod doing these little lights in the twilight, but it is quite beautiful to just, if I go IVA with Jeb and try and get some sort of view. No, it's not going to do it, so I'll just go out of that. I'm not quite sure how it can't do a view. Because I don't know. Whoa, what's happened? Oh, I was inside the pod. Okay, so I'm gonna have to speed up time. Okay, so physics load has been stabilized. We'll just time warp a bit more. I'm sorry it's quite dark. I probably should have made it daytime. Okay, so now we're entering the atmosphere. I'm going to bring up the resources page again, and I want you to look at the ablative shielding. Can I just bring that up? Yes. So we have heat shields, and they're ablative heat shields. And what's going to happen is, as we slow down, the ablative... Jebediah Kerman died of G-force damage. Why am I always killing Jeb? Is there... There's no way to... Okay, so I'm gonna have to let the pod crash, essentially. And we did get all the bonuses from the missions, however, Jeb's kind of dead. I know exactly why he died, and I know how to prevent it in future, and the issue was that we only used a solid rocket booster. The G-forces got too high, and he... How am I still able to control it? Chase, auto. Not quite sure how I'm still able to control this, but there must be some sort of pod system. No, because there's not even a remote control system. And I didn't arm the parachute. I don't know. This is going to take quite a while, so I'm just going to I don't know what to do. I think I might just fast forward this in editing, because there's quite a while to go. We're dropping it about 5 meters per second, and we're 2 kilometers up. I forgot to reset the parachute limits, so I'll be sitting here a while. Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward through this in Sony Vegas, because yeah. And we're continuing to wait. In fact, I may just keep this one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one parachute assisted landing in, just to show you how damn slow it is, and to punish you slightly. Yeah, this is with 4 times phase warp, by the way. This is as fast as I can possibly descend at the moment. Short of, well, crashing. Which, can I cut the... I can't cut the chute. Probably should have just crashed, but I'm going to get some money for returning the heat shields and the parachute. So I think we're near the ground now. No, because it hasn't fully loaded in the Teju. There we go. We're on the ground, so we'll just recover the vessel. Unfortunately, Jeb didn't arrive with the vessel. Well, he did, kind of. So we got 56 science from all of that, and we are going to research and development. So we're just going to research basic rocketry and what's instability. Radial decouplers, they will be handy. And survivability. God knows we need some survivability. Can we get general rocketry? No, that's 18 science. Okay, so we're going to go back into this. And we want to... we're going to test the stack decoupler. Now we do have quite a lot of money that we can play around with. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to upgrade... don't really need to upgrade the VAB, I think. We're going to try and go to orbit, and I have no idea how we're going to do that safely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a real fuel tank, and you can see it's quite small, so I just upped the diameter to 2 meters. And we'll make this a 3 meter tank to hold... what's the lowest thrust engine we have? The Ariane 5 engine, like that. We'll set utilization to 100% and just load in the MMH NTO fuel that it needs. Luckily, it does tell you what kind of fuel you need. We're also going to throw in... it's in structural... a procedural stack decoupler. Oops. I've stuck it inside the engine. Okay, so I'm going to try and stick this on the outside of the engine because I don't think it works as well if it's in the engine. So we're going to up the diameter to 2 meters. And we're going to actually change the colour to redstone stripes because then all of this can match. Oops. Redstone stripes. Do I have any sort of... no? Don't have any fairings for that. That doesn't generate fairings. Okay. We're going to try the TR18A stack decoupler, which should generate fairings, but won't generate fairings. Good. So we're going to go back to the procedural stack decoupler. Oops. Okay. And we're also going to throw on a second engine. 10 meter engine, or fuel tank. We're going to throw on the SpaceX Merlin. And can I show the engine GUI? 482, 520, 742. Okay, so we're going to have a Merlin 1D, actually a Merlin 1D, and we're going to change the texture of this to the redstone stripes again. So we're going to launch with a Merlin 1D, but we're not just going to use Merlin 1D, we're also going to throw on, and I'm in the wrong place altogether, aren't I? Yes. Can I... can I change the size of these? it's only the AI. Oh. Okay, so they're not gonna work. Is this a fairing? No. Okay. So we're gonna throw on a couple of radial decouplers. And what size are these? No. What size are these? There we go. Throw on 2 of these. And I actually want... Did I forget the... I did forget that, didn't I? So I'll throw the procedural stack decoupler back on and reset the size to 2 meters. There we go. Now put that engine back on. Yes. And we're going to throw on a couple of SRBs, Real Fuels SRBs. So our rocket boosters, for those of you who don't know, these are going to be... Why can't I raise the diameter? That's as big as it gets. Okay. So they're going to be very long and very thin. Apparently, because it doesn't want to be any bigger. What happens if I change the... I'm sorry about this, but I'm still learning the mods. I still think that's a very small decoupler. I'm going to try these. And throw 2 of these on. Now can I raise the diameter? No. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is throw on some real fuel tanks, which can be made to 2 meters. And just put them to 6 meter in length. And drop them down to there-ish. I'm also going to change the texture of them to the redstone stripes, of course, and throw Ergomash engines on the bottom. And this fit on? No. This definitely will, because I can up the diameter to 2 meters and change the curve to something that's pretty sharp. You're gonna have drills. I'm also going to put some winglets onto the main body, just for a bit of stability. And I think that's about all I'm going to... Oops. TCAC 2. I'm just going to call that the TCAC 2. And I'm going to end this episode here. In the next episode, we're going to see exactly how badly this thing blows up. I've been Rainbow Dave. You've been watching Kerbal Space Program. Thank you very much for watching. Join me next time for probably more deaths. Goodbye.